Hi there, it's Rose. Welcome back to my channel. Today I thought it would be fun to share what's on my craft desk. So you can see I have a lot of beading going on. That's what I've been working on. I'm still in the process of reorganizing and sorting through. I'm still on sort of a temporary buying ban, so I'm just kind of going through my stash, and if I get distracted, then I usually start creating. So that's what's really been happening the last couple of days. I sort of was organizing and sorting through some beads and pens, and then I just started making. So I think that's really one of the cool things about being a crafter, is that you can always get distracted and actually wind up making something really pretty and fun that has always been on your list to do and you haven't gotten to. And it kind of breaks the monotony of, labeling and organizing and sorting and that kind of thing. So let me clear a little space here so I can show you, each of these projects and where I am with what I'm doing. Let's get into it. So actually, in moving everything aside, I forgot where I put my drink, and I found my drink. This is what I'm drinking this morning. It's a Bai or a Bay. It's Wonder Water watermelon, Kula watermelon. And it has antioxidants, no artificial sweeteners, and it has electrolytes. I really like the flavor of these. And I would say if you're interested in trying one, it's 10 calories for the whole bottle, which is great. And I actually find these at Dollar Tree. You can get them in the grocery store or at Target, but they're considerably more than $1.25. They're sometimes almost $3 a bottle. So if you see these in the refrigerated section of your Dollar Tree, you might want to give them a try. They have a lot of great flavors. This is not sponsored. There's a blueberry, a cherry that I really like, and I like this watermelon. It's super refreshing. So that's what I'm drinking. I already had my coffee for the day, so I'm on to this. And to start talking, I've got my little tray here that I do put some miscellaneous beads in, that I picked up either at Target or at the Dollar Tree. And I like it. I think it's a little food tray for kiddos, but I like it for beading because I can lay my project and beads out. What happened, how I started to go down this beading rabbit hole, is a while back, I had picked up some of these beads from Walmart, and I thought they were so pretty. Well, what I did was I cut them off the strand, and I had them in my little tray here. And then when I was moving some things, I found the tray, and I said, wow, I really want to make something with these beads because they're so pretty. And that's what I started doing. So that led me down the rabbit hole of being distracted from sorting and got me into beading. And I started making some of these little chunky chains or dangles, purse charms, whatever you want to call them. This is one of the first ones I made. And I just took some head pins and some little smaller gold like spacers and little smaller beads and put them on the ends. And then I added some of the little rondelles that you see here and the different beads and just sort of started layering them up. So I had a lot of fun doing that. And I just mixed the silver and gold. Some people stick with one color, and I like to do that too. But I also like to mix it because I think it adds a little bit more glimmer. Let me see if I can put this aside here and just lay this on the table. I've got some super glue fingers because I was gluing something with a super glue from the Dollar Tree, and I took the cap off. I get those little super glues. Not the big ones because they tend to dry out, but I get these little ones. This is my first time using this one. I took the little cap off and I thought it would be hard to squeeze out. It just shot all over my hands, so I've still got super glue hands, so I've got to be really careful with that. But here is my first one. I love these little sparkly beads. Aren't they pretty? So this is kind of chunky, but it's super fun to make. And I usually, when I start one of these, I stick with it until I finish it. So I did this one. And then I also made another. And then again, I just brought in some pearls that I had sitting in that tray and other beads too, just because I think the more the merrier when you're making these little chunky monkey chains. Little lobster claw at the top. Probably not as big as I like. I might change that out later for a larger one, but just added on a simple little key ring there. I mean, these really aren't meant to hang keys from. They're more meant for decoration or just adding to, you know, a little clutch bag, or if you carry a backpack or something like that. They're fun to just, and they're also just great to play with and even hang in your, I think I actually even put a little charm on this one too. There's a little tiny heart charm. So those are the first things that I started making. And then I put together this little silicone wristlet with these silicone beads that I had. And again, I'm just kind of working through what I have along with this little tassel. I think these are super fun. Again, you could clip something to this. You could add another clip, but they're really, really cute. And I don't know if you're familiar with these silicone beads, but they really have a great texture. This little kit that I picked up a while back from Amazon also had these really pretty sparkly ones included that are a little bit smaller. I think these might be maybe 18, 20 millimeter, and these might be like 14 or 12 or 14. I haven't gotten into actually measuring beads. That's the next thing that I'm going to really start working on, so I can get a better indication, particularly when I'm looking to buy beads. I know the bubblegum beads are about 20 millimeter that I use for some of the pens, but some of these other sizes, I'm not that keen on their exact size. Now next I started making some of these little keychains that come with like a rod and a little ball. And you're going to start to see a little theme peeking out here. You may already recognize that some of these colors are going to really be perfect for Halloween. I also got this little set of silicone beads that had the bee theme, and I thought that would look really pretty on this silver keychain. So again, a while back, I bought some of these little blanks on these little blank keychain beadable keychains on Amazon, and I'm just kind of working my way through them. So I made this little bee one. I think that is so cute. It was the only pack of these silicone beads with the little focal bead that I ever saw in my Hobby Lobby. So let me know if you're familiar with seeing those in Hobby Lobby, but I love the bee theme. I thought he was really, really cute. And then here we go with Halloween. So this one's kind of like a little Beetlejuicy. These are just some beads that I had in my stash. I added a little tassel and a few little charms. I love this color green for Halloween too, and especially like it with the purple. So I think that one is really fun. Now this is what happens when you are trying to craft for summer, but some little fall and Halloween sneaks in there. So the little yellow and oranges, I thought these were so pretty on this color key ring that is kind of like got some white and yellow in it. And I thought that was really, if I was in a fruit swap, I think I would be all set, because I have some oranges and lemons, but I haven't been invited into a fruit swap yet. But when I am, I will be ready. And also this little cute Halloween one with the bat, and I've added the tassel there. I like this little sparkly black bead. That is probably one of my favorites, and he's super cute. And then this one is just a straight one. I'll probably embellish this a little bit more with maybe a tassel and some dangles. But I just kind of in the early stages of working on these and still playing with what I can do with them. I think these are interesting because they have this little extra hook here that you can hang something additional from that, like a tassel or another dangle. Of course, you could remove it, but I think it's really kind of cute. This one came with the lobster claw and the key hook. So you could really have your keys hanging from this, and the lobster claw you could clip to your bag or your little, fanny pack or whatever. But yeah, these are silicone. This is silicone, and then these are like the acrylic and the sparkly. Now, the last time I ran into Michael's when I was buying some of the paper pads, the 12 by 12 paper that was reduced to a $3.99 or $4.99, I found these in Creatology, and I thought they were super cute for making little keychains. They're these little mini cups, and they have like a little ball chain, so you could use that or attach them to another, and they just look like little, I don't know, Starbucks cups. I thought they were cute. They were out of the little things that you put on the inside of them, and I thought they actually screwed on. They don't screw on. The tops don't stay on, so thus this comes into the story of the super glue drama. So here I was loading them up with some little gems, and also from Creatology that I had in my stash, these little cute, they're great for shakers, and a little shaker mix that I had here in a vial. And I was loading this up, and I wanted to super glue the top on so I could, again, use this and add it to a dangle. I thought it would be super cute. And the super glue I put around the base and went to put it on, but it really squirted all over my hands, and thus I had super glue fingers. So this is the first one. I think it's really fun. I'll move this out of the way so maybe it'll focus. But they do sit up, and they have these little pink ball chains, which are cute, but probably not the greatest. I may eventually just take that off and string maybe a little chain to it if I add it to a dangle, but I thought they were really fun to add things to. Here's the other one. This one might still be not fully dried. Yeah, it is dried, but so just be aware if you find these. It's like $2 for both of them, which, probably you could get a better deal if you're a, Temu shopper, which I'm not. But I just put some, you could add glitter in these too, it would be really cute. So I thought they were fun. Now again, while I had my beads out, I thought I might as well make some beaded pens. And of course, this is the first one I made, which is the little bee. And I think he's so cute, a black sparkly. And then I also had these bee charms in my stash that I've just attached there to the top, along with a little tassel. So he's super cute. And then naturally some Halloween. So a little ghost. I'm going to be ahead of the game for Halloween crafting, and that is my plan. So if I do get invited to participate in a swap, I will be ready to go. At least with some beaded items. This one's really pretty too. And then finally this little pumpkin, where I added that little rhinestone rondelle there to the top. It looks like he's got like a little hat on, and then this sparkly. So let me know if you make any beaded pens. Now, I don't glue my beaded pens. In other words, I don't glue the beads onto the little shaft. I know there's like some people that do, and I may start trying to do that. I may glue, I've heard some crafters say that they glue the top on. They don't glue the beads themselves, but they glue the top on just so that there's no accident maybe in shipping them out. But I haven't done that. So let me know if you do, or what if you had, I mean, all the beaded pens that I've ever purchased work beautifully. I haven't had an issue where the pen doesn't write well. But I don't, I don't have a lot of them. I know that a lot of people buy them in bulk, and they've said be sure to get the refills when you do. But I haven't purchased any refills, but my pens work fine. And, this one is really, can you see that's got sparkly in the barrel? I think that's really fun. Now, finally, the last time I ran into Dollar Tree, I saw these cute little package of erasers that came with a heart, a unicorn, a little whale, and this other kind of little flying Pegasus, I guess. Is that what you call that? I've been wanting to make some little keychains out of, the little doorables, or these little figures that you can sometimes find at Dollar Tree. And that's why you notice this little screwdriver on my tray, because I'm just starting to experiment with this. And I thought I would start with erasers, because this is a manual one, and I just, was a little bit unsure about going through these guys with this. I might get a little bit of more of a heavy duty one, and I do have some of the little eye screws. So what brought this all about is on Instagram, I watched this person that stocks a little, free keychain library in her neighborhood. And she she sort of makes these little keychains, all different kinds of little toys, little children's toys that they're probably done playing with. And she puts a little eye pin or eye screw in the top of it and hangs a little key ring. Now, she uses the ball chains. But then, the kids can come by and they can take one, or they can leave a little donation with the toy that they would like to have made into a key ring, or they just might, take them to swap or whatever. It's sort of like a little free library that you see sometimes there's one outside of the rec center that I go to that has free books. You can take a book and leave a book, and it's just a little free library. Well, she did it with a little keychain library. I think the idea is so adorable. And it got me really thinking about making some of these into little keychains. So this is my first one. And I just finished him up and just put the little eye screw in the top there and attached a key ring. I think it's adorable. And now I did not glue that in. I wanted to, but I didn't have the glue out, and I was too anxious to get the keychain in just to see if this little drill would work. This was fine for going through the little erasers, but I'm going to get a little electric one to go through these little stitch ones. I think they would make really cute keychains. And I may look around in my area and research it and see if there's a little keychain library. I think that idea is so fun. If you run across that person on Instagram, she really has a cute little Instagram account where she shows that if they take one, she puts a different one out, and it must be just so fun for her neighborhood. I think she's in Melbourne, Florida. Not close to where I am, or I would go over and check it out and definitely support by leaving little trinkets that she can make keychains from. Super fun. So that is the last thing that I've worked on that was beading. I hope you enjoy taking a look at what's on my craft desk. This was a little bit more of a chatty video for me. I'm not usually this chatty. I think it might be this buy drink, or maybe the coffee that I had this morning. I hope you're having a great day. Thanks so much for checking in on me, and I will see you next time.